Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new video, and this one is a flip through. This is day 2 in Quebec City. I already did day 1. I will say day 2 is smaller slash shorter, not as many layouts because we were up very early in the morning, but then we took an evening train to Montreal. So we were only, it's really like 3/4 of a day for this day 2. So that's why there are a few less layouts here. But here we go. This is the start of our day. We actually went to the train station because we found out they would hold our bags there for us for, I think we paid $6. That was super convenient because we had an Airbnb when we were in Quebec City, and we didn't want to have to bother to ask the owner, like, hey, can we leave our bags here and come back? So we just decided for $6, we will go to the train station, we'll leave them there, we know they're safe, and we got to go back there anyway. So we just pick them up before we board, and it worked out super well. But you can see here that the train station in Quebec City is beautiful. It's definitely, older style, but look at all this on the inside. So we actually just took some time to just kind of walk around again, take some photos. We looked to see if there was anything open, like for a quick coffee or snack or something at breakfast. There really wasn't. We weren't starving though, so we're like, you know what, that's fine. And my friend doesn't drink coffee. I knew I could wait till I found something later, so it was all good. But on these cards here, I decided to actually, there's something in the pocket here, I see. Got like a dust bunny in there or something. There, it was bothering me. I got it out. I decided to use the same paper because I had one piece I'd already cut into, and I just honestly didn't want the hassle of trying to find 3 different things that would match. So I used the same thing, but obviously they're all very different. So here I used the luggage tag that I had, and actually this is stuck to the outside of the pocket because with this thread coming off of the tag, it would not fit in the pocket. This would have gotten smushed and it wouldn't have looked good. So I decided just to adhere it to the top of the page, and you can't really tell. Would you have noticed if I hadn't said anything? I'm hoping not. And then over here, I just used some stickers that I had. Actually, I have a sheet right here. It's from these Simple Stories Here and There, it's called. So I used some of these on there because the colors matched what I had going. So I just did those, put the train here. I used one phrase sticker, and then I did a little bit of ink splattering. It might be hard to see, but the color is called Patina. I believe it's from Heidi Swap from her Metallics collection. On this side, I have a smaller insert. It's a 4x8, but it's a different style of page protector. And I wanted this one because I had this business card. And that's just free floating in there. If I find that it moves around too much, I may staple it in or something. But otherwise, I'm happy to leave it as is. But you can see we found a cat cafe. That was not on our list of things. It never came up when I was researching. We just happened to be walking that direction when we left the train station, and we saw it across the street. So we did end up getting coffee and breakfast there since they had it available, not to mention petting all the lovely, lovely cats. I am a cat person. My friend is more of a dog person. She likes cats, but she doesn't have cats. She has a dog. But we both enjoyed it, I think, and she got along with the cats just fine. We had a good old time. So here you can see I made a journaling card there to write about the experience. I had my coffee in there, and then I have a bunch of cat things. But because I don't do my family album anymore, where I was doing like physical scrapping, I have so much of that left. So I will use my cat things whenever I get a chance. So this was perfect. Then I could work in some of my stickers, phrases, that kind of stuff. And as you can see, I did collages for both of these. I did these right in Project Life, and then I just saved them, and I had them printed through, did I do these through, these are 6x8, so I did them through Nations because MPix has 6x9. So these were done through Nations Photo Lab. So you can see they did a great job. And then here, I wanted to use a card. I had some digital paper that I had dropped in and decided I didn't like it once I saw it printed. So this card is actually adhered on top of that, of what I did digitally. And hopefully with this one too, you can maybe tell a little bit, the edge is a little raised, but otherwise I think it looks just fine. And I just slapped a little paw sticker on there and called it done. When we were done at the cat cafe, we had a couple of hours where we knew, like, we can just wander. We just want to wander the streets, look at the shops, see what's available. There were some art galleries, we wanted to look at that. So these are just random pictures really from around Quebec City. But I mean, look at this old school street scene. I freaking loved it. I love Quebec City. I will go back, I'm sure, because I love the vibe. I love that it's probably like the closest to Europe that you can get in North America. So I appreciate that. And they're French speaking, which is great. There's a lot of just kind of random stuff here. And then I just did minimal embellishments. And because I had this card that said I love you, I figured a heart on a little pendant there was appropriate. I should say too that this is stamping. This is not digitally put on there. I did stamp that. Again, on this side, wandering those Quebec City streets. Did a lot of that. But I happened to pull pictures together that had similar colors so that I knew they would go. Here's that paper again. So this is probably what I cut into because I did this one before the others. So here it is again. I don't mind that it's repeated in the album because it matches. I think it looks good. I certainly could have chosen something else, but I like it, so I'm okay with it. Here again, I just did some stickers as embellishments, and then I thought this one was cute, this little stamp that I had on a newer set, and it worked with what we were seeing here. And I just used a piece of stray cardstock that I had to do my journaling. So my next layout, I decided to do a 6x8 insert. I wanted to showcase these two photos of this plaza and then sculpture that we found. And I think that worked out well. Doing a full 6x12 would have been too much. It would have been like a very blank background, which I didn't want. This one's quite busy. I've got two different types of washi on there, plus color here. I mean, there's a lot going on, but I like the way it looks. On this side, again, I had a lot of random photos, and so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do another collage. It allows me to fit some of those in. These all worked to be in a 2x2 spot, so why not? This is a digital card that I just dropped in there, and then one big 4x6. I think that's enough. I like the way it looks. It's definitely busy, but I like it. And then I have another smaller insert here. I went with a 4x8, two 4x4 pockets, which is one I don't use a ton, but it worked well. This I had already printed as a 3x4. Had I planned a little better, I probably would have just printed it 4x4, but I printed it this way, and I thought I don't want to have to scrap it, as in throw it away, reprint and try again like in a different size. So I just used what I had, and I just chose a background. These are the same piece of paper. Pretty sure it's just the one end and then the other because there were gradients to it, so that worked out well. And I just did one big sticker. That was another one from a similar sheet, not the same sheet, but grab this out. But this one, which I've also been using in this album, so it's Travelogue from Photoplay, in case you want to get it. On the back side, another random photo, but it's a beautiful building. And then I had gotten this sticker somewhere. I may have purchased it at the Parliament building. Can't remember for sure. We went into so many little like gift shops, souvenir shops. Really, it could be anywhere. But I liked the look of it. I loved that it had the hotel. So I slapped that on there, and there was a little red here, so it worked out well. On this side, I got to use one of my page protectors that has all 3x3 pockets. And this is one, it's not my fave, but I have a couple, so I have been trying to use them whenever I have photos that fit, and that was the case here. So as you can see, it's a mix of stuff. This was the St. Louis Gate on the way to the Parliament Assembly building, and these are just random shots of the fountain, a lovely door nearby. It was kind of mid-May at this point, and so the tulips were blooming. It was lovely. And then this card came with the camera on there, but I added this with stamping. And then on the other side of all my 3x3s, this is all the Parliament, so I wanted to include stuff from that. This, again, I adhered on the outside of the page protector. Same problem I had here. So I didn't want that to be all smushed in there, so I just thought, all right, I'll do it on the outside, and I think it looks fine. And I chose to kind of do a star theme since I have a lot of those readily available. So I went with silver because of all of the gray and silver tones here. Did 3 in different sizes. I did stamp that down there, and that's kind of it. Just otherwise just like cut some paper down. It wasn't that difficult. And then here we are inside the assembly building. At this one, we were allowed to keep our phones. In Ottawa, we were not. Here, we were allowed to take as many pictures as we wanted, which I greatly appreciated because look how beautiful the blue room is. I mean, come on. How are you going to go in there and not take photos of that? But because they were very intricate, very busy, I wanted to be careful with how I put this together, so that's why I've got a lot of blank space there to kind of let the eye rest. Minimal embellishments, and then I did some journaling down here, but it's not a lot. It's very simple. But then I carried the washi throughout. I did it here and then both sides so that it would match, and I think it has a good cohesive look to it. After the assembly building, we went to the Morin Library. Morin or Marin, not exactly sure how you say it. I'm going with Morin. It sounds better to me. So I have that here. And again, because the photos were so busy, I did minimal stuff here. I picked out a card that was fun. I did some ink splattering. It might be a little hard to see, but it's a metallic brown to match all the woodwork happening. And then I just did a little bit of journaling here, and that's really all it needed. And then on this side, again, more random photos walking back from this area to closer to where we started. And so you can see some of the buildings we passed, and there was a lot of red and yellow happening. So that's why I wanted to kind of bring those out with my embellishments. So I found this one here, which is great. I took a scrap of yellow cardstock, put that on there as a border, perfect. And then I did use my stamp set so that I could have it say Quebec. And this is our last layout here because we needed to have a very, very late lunch / early dinner. It was a very odd time, and actually they closed this place while we were eating. So we came in like right at the very end because they had a break between when they closed for lunch and when they opened back up for dinner. So we barely made it, but we had just a quick pizza and some drinks, and really that's all we needed. You know, just we knew we could get stuff on the train later if we really wanted it, so this was perfect for us. But I wanted to bring out the yellows and greens here in this photo and stuff, and so luckily I got this from my friend Robin, and it was perfect for this photo. And I just put this little phrase on there, and that's it. This is a pocket card, but I didn't do anything to it. It printed that way, and that's all I needed. And so with all of that, that brings us to the end of Quebec City. That's now finished. Now I will move on to Montreal. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing all of this so far, and you'll come back for the last 2 days of Montreal. Thanks for watching.